All right, now we're going to start phase two of system of equations with the unit essential question being how can I demonstrate knowledge of finding solutions to system of equations. In the first phase we talked about, it's already in slope-intercept form, and in order to find the solution we have to find where the two lines intersect. And I'm just going to go back and just kind of review this right here. How many solutions. Remember, if they just intersect one time, you have one solution. The parallel lines, they're never going to intersect, so there's no solution. And if you have two identical lines, both equations are the exact same, you have infinite solutions. All right, so let's go back over and start phase two. How can I use graphing to generate the solution of a set of equations that are not in slope-intercept form? You're going to get a lot they're not in there. You have to put it in slope-intercept form. If you remember from the first semester, or the first when we started working with linear equations, I kept saying, learn how to put things in slope-intercept form because it's going to make your life so much easier. Well, that time has come, and so now that's where we're at now. If you understand that now, here's where it's really going to help you. When I look at this, I see both of these equations. Again, I just want to look at one at a time. So I'm going to take the first one, and I'm going to rewrite that one underneath here. I'm going to 2x minus y equals negative 5. Well, if you remember, I want to draw my line of scrimmage. In this case, I've got to get it into the form of y equals mx plus b. And this being your slope, m is your slope, b being your y-intercept, that is super important. So in this case, in order to get y by itself, I have to move the 2x. I'm going to be moving it across that line of scrimmage. So that tells me I have to do the opposite. I need to get this one to 0, so that's positive. Subtract the 2x from that side, and whatever I do to one side, remember I got to do to the other. Minus 2x. On this side, that leaves me negative y equals. Now, remember, I cannot combine these two. They're not the same. They're not the same term. So I have to just slide things where they go. And if I just slide the negative 2x right here, because again, if I look at y equals mx plus b, I'm looking at the number that has the x. So negative 2x, and then I look at the number up here. It's a negative 5. I'm just going to bring that down. Now, in most cases, I should be able to stop here. But I can't here today because I've got the negative y. Can't leave it a negative. All I'm going to do, again, is divide everything by that negative. That cancels out. So I'm going to have y equals. Okay, negative 2x divided by a negative. Two negatives equal a positive. 2x. And then the same thing here. I get negative and a negative. Negative 5 divided by negative makes that a positive 5. So now I have one of my equations. I'm going to go ahead and actually graph that. Again, I have to start it and know where my y-intercept, and it goes back to knowing which one of these is my slope, which one's my y-intercept. Well, the slope is the one with the x beside it. It's the m. In this case, it's 2. And if one thing that helps you, I know it gets easy to get mistaken. Okay, what do I put under the 2? If it helps you to put the 1, put the 1. That way you know if it's a whole number, it's always going to be over 1. So here in this case, I need to start with my y-intercept. So I'm going to go up here and go up to a positive 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my starting point. Again, my slope was 2. Well, that's kind of high up on the y, so I'm going to go down, and I go down 2. That's negative. Well, I've got to keep it positive, so negative, and that means I go to the left 1 for my 1. I can go down 2 over 1 and just continue on there. And I'm going to go up 1, up 2 over 1. And if you're like me, you can't draw a straight line, so I just go here. And I'm going to change the color of that line to match. Alright, now I'm going to change colors of my pen because for the second one, I want to see a different color. Let's see if white works. Now my second equation, again, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go negative 2x minus y equals negative 1. Okay, in this case, again, I want to get the slope-intercept form. I need to refer back to my formula I have, and I'm going to move my x. I have negative 2x. I want to move that over. In order to move it over, I'm going across that line of scrimmage, so I have to do the opposite. Plus 2x on that side, plus 2x over here. That's gone. That leaves me negative y equals, well, I can't combine. Again, I go with the x first. 2x minus 1. The 2x, and I have a minus 1. Again, I have a negative y. Just negative. Divide everything by the negative. It leaves me y equals a positive 2 divided by negative 2x, and then 2 negatives there, plus 1. So I want to graph it. I'm going to go up to my y-intercept in this case, which is 1, and plot that point. Now I have a negative slope. So that tells me, okay, here I can say I'm going to go up, there's my positive, and over 1 for the negative. Up 2, over 1. I can already see where it's going to intersect. 1, 2, 1. So I'm going to stop there. Get my line. And I'm going to connect. Now, here for this final thing, again, it's just like what we've been doing with it already in slope-intercept form. I'm going to look for the coordinate pair. Well, in this case, the coordinate pair, I'm going to start with my x. I'm going to go over, okay, to where it intersects. I'm going to say, okay, that's negative 1, because I know here I can kind of little line there. Negative 1 for my x, and then I got to go up 1, 2, 3. So in this case, the solution to this system is going to be negative 1, 3. That's where they're going to intersect. Alright, I want you to actually pause the screencast and actually work this one out and see what you come up with. And here in a second, I'm going to show you what the solution should be and see if you're right. And if you want, tomorrow we can talk about it in class. If you're wrong, if you don't get the same solution I have, I want you to go back through it and work through it, because you'll see the answer, and that way you can maybe see where you went wrong. Okay, as you've worked this out, I'm going to go ahead and show you the coordinate pair you should have come up with for the solution is 2, negative 3. And if you didn't come up with that, what I want you to do, go back through and see if you can find out what error you made. All right, one other thing I want to talk about, and it's the very same thing, it's different, being able to identify, how can I identify systems with many solutions or no solutions. So let's look at this one right here together, and then we'll go on. But I'm going to look at the first equation again. 2y minus x equals 2. Draw my line of scrimmage. Okay, and I'm just going to put it in slope-intercept form. In this case, I can leave 2y because I'm going to add x to both sides. So 2y equals, I've got x plus 2. Then I'm going to divide everything by 2 because I've got to get y completely by itself. So in this case, I'm going to get y equals. And remember, you can put the 1 there. If there's just a variable, it's always understood that there's a 1. 1/2 x plus 1. Now, I can already see something here. When I put this in a slope-intercept form, it's the exact same as this equation here. One thing I can do, I can actually say, okay, I think I'm pretty safe to say this is going to be infinite solutions. Let's grab it. I just want to show you here. Go up 1, and I can say up 1 over 2. and then graph the one, it's going to be the exact same thing, so you'll see there. Um, so you have two equations, two lines that are the exact same. In this case, you're going to have infinite solutions because every coordinate pair along the line is intersecting with the other. Again, as you work this out, if you come up with parallel lines, it is that there's no solution. If you come up with an intersecting point, you have one solution. So what I want you to do at this point, I want you to use today's Meet or Twitter and tell what is something you have learned specifically through this tutorial about system of equations and putting it into slope-intercept form as well as graphing. And be ready for a short quiz tomorrow in class, and we'll see you then.